I officially welcome you to this lesson. Here we're going to look at the second approach to answering the IELTS academic reading test. In our previous lesson, we talked about certain specific question types and how to approach them. Here we are going to focus on the matching headings and then matching information. How do you answer this question type? We are going to look at a 6-step approach to tackle this question type should you meet them in your practice or your examination. So let's see. So we're going to start with the matching heading. I know this happens to be one of the difficult questions under the IELTS academic reading test. But then if you have a systematic approach to tackle it, then it becomes a bit easier for you. Now let's look at the first thing we have to do when it comes to answering the matching headings. So obviously you have to locate the title of the passage. This is so in the first approach. It's very important. The title tells you much about the passage, so even if you haven't read, it's like the summarized version of everything you are seeing on the paper. One specific thing about the matching heading is that because you are looking out for the subject matter of the paragraph, it is usually important to locate the subject of the paragraph. So what is the subject of the paragraph? A subject is the doer of an action. Remember that every paragraph has got a subject. Every paragraph has got a main topic it is covering. So usually to get the understanding of that paragraph, it's much more of looking at the main idea. And one important trick you have to take into consideration is that to deduce the subject of a paragraph, usually take notice of the first sentence. So the question is, what is this paragraph starting with? Is it talking about organization? Is it talking about technology? What is the first sentence of the paragraph talking about? That should give you an idea about what the subject is. It's very important to locate the subject of the paragraph. Once you locate the subject, the other important thing you have to consider has to do with splitting the paragraphs into halves. Some of the paragraphs are too bulky for you to read. So to make it easier for you to glance through, it's important to split it into halves. And once that is done, you make sure that you reach each half and then pick up cues. And then once that has been done, you go to the list of headings. You read through from the first one to the last one to see which of them matches the paragraph you read. And then you locate the right heading, then you match it. So this is the 6-step approach to answering the matching headings. So this is the approach you'll be using when we're dealing with the matching headings. And then we're going to talk about the matching information. How do you approach it? It's quite similar to the matching headings, just that there are a few bits and pieces that we have to look at. So you could see that locating the title of the passage is still important. Once you have located the title, the next thing you have to do is to go to the statements that have been given. Usually the maximum is 4 or 5. And then you have to pick up cues in the statement given. You have to summarize it in a way that you would understand. And then you locate the subject of the paragraph as I explained. And the splitting option comes in. You make sure that you read each half and then pick up cues. This is very important. Then you go back to the statement and compare. We'll look at how to do this in our subsequent lessons. These are the steps you'll be applying. So if you haven't understood, don't worry. You're going to look at it in much more detail.